Japan is a wealthy country and was once the world's second largest economy after the United States. Though it has now lost this position to China, Japan always maintains a discipline and cleanliness. Therefore, one might not expect Japan to have slums or homeless people. In fact, like the rest of the world, Japan has slums and homeless people. But Japanese slums look somewhat different. This is a side of Osaka that is hidden by the modern and beautiful city. This is Kamagasaki. An elderly man in old clothes walks along an empty street. The cold doesn't seem to bother the elderly and middle-aged men gathered to chat while sipping beer or sake.
西成区の萩の茶屋西成区言うたらまあ悪くは見られてるやろうけど世間からはね日本ではだけど人情ある人多いよいや本当にだからまあ極端な話猫まあキャットドッグスズメって何やろなよかったら分からんけどあと鳩とかカラスそういうのにみんな餌あげたりするからなんか知らんけど人間は痩せ太っとんのに動物の方が太っとんねん。
People refer to Kamagasaki as a slum and a place for the homeless. The number of homeless people in Japan is low, compared to other developed countries like the US, the UK or European countries. The number of homeless people in big cities such as Tokyo and Osaka has steadily been decreasing. The city and government help them to find jobs and temporary housing. There is a non-profit organization in Osaka which has started a bicycle rental program. They give homeless people jobs to maintain and repair bikes. There are still homeless people living in parks, train stations, and here. The houses and shops in Kamagasaki look old but tidy. The streets here are mostly clean, although there is rubbish in some areas. This place doesn't really fit the common understanding of what a slum is. There are, however, many people who do not have a permanent place to live. Watanabe rents a room in which to sleep at night with government subsidies. During the day, he sits there with a can of beer.
僕はマンションでおるからまあマンション言うたって広くないよ6畳やそこらのまあユニットバスとキッチンとベランダとあって
Those who don't have enough money to pay rent have to sleep on the streets. Some people build their shelters from materials that are not very strong. It can only be used for protection from the sun and for their personal belongings. This bike is fully loaded. The owner may not have a permanent place to sleep. He may have to wander to find a place to lay his head down. Some take a nap on the roadside. Many people can hardly walk without the aid of a cane. An old man is unpacking a bag. This is an old photo of two women in Japanese national costumes. We guess this might be a picture of his wife and daughter. This could be the most valuable treasure he has left. It's the only thing that shows he had a family. One of Osaka's most popular attractions and icons is the Tsutenkaku Tower. It was built in 1912. Tsutenkaku means the way to heaven. The structure of the tower is made of the same type of steel as the Eiffel Tower. At that time, the tower was the tallest building in East Asia. It was part of the transformation of Osaka to be as prosperous as Tokyo. It was the end of the Meiji era, when Japan emerged as a new power in Asia. Japan was at its peak. The area was named Shinsekai, which means New World. The boom in the construction business attracted many workers. They did daily or short-term construction work. They live in Kamagasaki, less than 10 minutes from Shinsekai. When the construction was complete, these workers continued to live here. Those workers used Kamagasaki as a permanent residence, and it continued to expand. They still have jobs because the economy is booming. During the 1980s, the Japanese economy grew steadily, thanks in large part to the production and export of automobiles and electronics. Japan's economy developed rapidly. Banks in Japan provided loans for businesses and relaxed lending conditions. Asset prices, including land and house prices, and the stock market, rose so much that it caused rampant inflation. In 1991, Japan's economy experienced a severe recession, which lasted a decade. Older workers in Kamagasaki lost their jobs and had become homeless. They had nowhere to go. These people built many beautiful buildings in Shinsekai. Still, few people know Kamagasaki. Even some Japanese people don't know this name.
釜ヶ崎は名前だけなら聞いたことあるんですけど、詳しくは知らないです。
はい。ここから聞きますか、釜ヶ崎。
釜ヶ崎はテレビとかどうだろう。どこから聞いたとかじゃなくて、なんか風の噂みたいな感じです。
釜ヶ崎は何かわかります？
わからないです。
OK ありがとうございます。
釜ヶ崎。
あってなんですか。尼崎はわかんないですね。わかんないです。
釜ヶ崎というところ聞いたことありますか？
尼崎ね。
釜ヶ崎。
尼崎？
釜ヶ崎。ここの辺。
尼崎ちゃん。尼崎ちゃん。
それってどこ？
尼崎兵庫。
いや釜がちょっとホームレスが。
西成。西成。西成。
西成はい。
西成ね。西成を。
はい。わかります。
わかる。西成わかる。
どんな感じのか説明。
まあでも今は多分昔よりはだいぶイメージが良くなってるよ。
はい。
その代わりはもう貧乏のね、貧困なイメージはあるけど貧困なイメージはあるけど、でもまあそこら辺をね、逆に言えば僕らで盛り上げていきたいなっていう、お金を落としてね。
まあ僕らは酔っ払いにとっては楽しい。
It's no surprise that Japanese people don't know about Kamagasaki. In 1996, the city of Osaka changed its name to Airinshiku. They wanted to get rid of its bad reputation. After that, the name of Kamagasaki no longer appeared on the map. People here, though, still call it by its old name. They continued their lives as they were before. A Japanese film director once made a movie about this place. Unfortunately, the film was banned. Recently, Kamagasaki has become popular among backpackers looking for cheap accommodation and food. Food and drink prices here are much lower than in other parts of the city because it is the residence of marginalized people. Workers in Kamagasaki stay in these hotels when they have enough money or when it's just too cold outside. The room is small and rectangular. There's a table, pillows, and mattress laid out on the floor. guests must use the shared bathroom outside. These rooms are clean, tidy and safe, but they're not home.
If you want to see more great content from all over the world, please like the video, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you.
There are immigrants moving in and out of Kamagasaki all the time, so the true number of residents is unknown. An old man treats his dog like a member of the family. It might be what helped him get through his lonely time in Kamagasaki. People here, if not working, stay on the roadside. Some stay in the park, waiting for food to be handed out, buying food from the store and drinking. People in retirement receive about 100,000 yen, or around $750 per month from the government. In fact, this amount is enough to pay for modest accommodation. Most people tend to spend a lot of money on alcohol, though.
だから普通にする人は食べてる人もおるけど、結局もらってる金額と考えたら足りひんようになるから。
まあね、足りないですね。
足りるようにするには自分がどっかで何かを、切る言うたら分かるかな。
まあ切る言うて
節約、節約言うたら分かりやすい。
Besides the homeless, Kamagasaki hosts two other types of people: the unemployed and day labourers, most of whom are middle-aged or older men. This is why Kamagasaki has a job centre which offers free meals and accommodation coupons. At the employment office building in Kamagasaki, companies and factories post daily employment notices. Those who need jobs have to queue up early in the morning. Then the company will recruit them. People who are recruited tend to be young and strong. Most of the work available is physical in nature, such as construction work. Watanabe is not old. He's a middle-aged man who's lost his job because of an accident at work.
とりあえず仕事があればね、やろうけど、僕らはもうこの体やからどこもやっててくれへん。日本は意外とこういう身体的なものを持ってる人雇うとか言うてる割にはパーセンテージが低い。
Crime often occurs where there are many unemployed and homeless people. Kamagasaki is no exception. Here there are thefts, quarrels and drugs. So there are police cars patrolling all the time. It's an area to which many people don't want to come, especially Japanese people.
もし夜間にここ
やめとった方がええ。絶対あかんねん。夜はここはもう明るいうちに撤収せんと無理。夜遅かったらもう何が歩いとるか分からへん。だもう俺もちょっと薄暗くなってきたらもう帰るもん。それから部屋から出へん。
The corner of this street is the usual hangout for a small group of older men. No one came this morning because they're probably still hungover. Later in the day, they wake up to eat. Then they gather again, drinking and chatting. When they get drunk, they find a place to sleep. Every day, it's the same routine. Some might think that living and drinking like this is aimless. On the other hand, these people have worked hard all their lives, but didn't get rich. They're old and have few, if any, responsibilities now. Maybe drinking is the only joy left in life. In the afternoon, the atmosphere at the corner of the street livens up. The drinkers gradually gather. They have sincere smiles. They talk to each other in a friendly way.
リオさんな。
はじめまして。
はい。サンキュー。
はじめまして。カルナさん。
ありがとうございます。
These people are very old, so no one hires them to work. They can chat all day because they don't have a job. They can drink as they please. The man next to him was even more intoxicated. While we were chatting, he fell off his chair.
でもそうでしょ。世界でそうや。ニューヨーク大都市があればシカゴの裏町みたいなあるでしょ。それと一緒や。日本やから言うて全部は金持ちじゃないから、そういう裏町みたいなのがこの町やから。どの国でもあると思うけどね。こういうとこもあればお金持ちばっかり住んでるとこもあるやろうし、どの国でもあるんちゃうかな。日本に限らずアメリカにも限らずね。
These guys drink and chat here every day. This is a free and unrestrained life, as long as they have enough money to buy alcohol to drink with their friends. By evening, Watanabe told us to leave Kamagasaki. The reason is that it's too cold here, and we might see things which could make us uncomfortable. In Kamagasaki, no one blames God or fate, whether they are poor, jobless, or homeless. The thing they all have in common is pride. They are proud to have been part of the nation's prosperity. They don't just wait for help. The subsidy money provided by the state is what they deserve as vital contributors to the building of a nation. Kamagasaki has been renamed, avoided, and not recognized. Still, the truth is that it exists. Japan's economy today is not as thriving as it was in the past. The people of Kamagasaki know that they may not have the chance to experience it again.